Did you know that fiduciaries and financial advisors, it's a law that states that you have to talk to your clients at least once a year, or at least make yourself available in some way? Like, we'll send out emails to all our clients, Skylar will, a month or two before we do our reviews, just to make sure that they would like to. And, our phones are always open. We always call back really quickly. Sometimes financial advisors, people just want to, be around. They just want to know that they're there, because it's really scary. And
it can be.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, you look at the football red zone, and, there's plays that you've got to absolutely execute in that red zone. Otherwise, you're either going to have to kick a field goal or you're going to get no points. And it kind of works that way with money. We call it the danger zone. And we teased it a little bit in the opening of the show here with, the next 5 years before you retire. That is somewhat true. What we'll do effectively in that situation is we'll look at it, depending on their age. If they're 59 and a half, we'll do a lot of these things called in-service withdrawals, where there's no tax, and then they can move their money over to an IRA and not pay tax on it. Yeah. And still contribute to their 401k at work, so that we could reallocate, rediversify a little bit better, because all you get when you're in a 401k is mutual funds. Yeah, I get it. The market's been really strong, but lately, the last few months, it's not been that strong. They say that they're at new market highs and all this stuff. But, the bottom line is, there's a lot of technology built into these mutual funds, and people are seeing their accounts starting to go down. And I called this. You've heard me say this for weeks.
Because of why?
Because there's heavy mutual fund managers take heavy positions in things that will perform, because they're only looking at the number, which is their performance. And if they don't perform, they get passed off. And so they're really just trying to, do whatever they can to make somebody the most money. And that's not necessarily the right thing to do. That's why you see the volatility in these types of funds, where people haven't seen their 401k plans move the way they have. And I told you this was going to happen. I said it. Now, the bottom line is there's more to it when you retire. So you've got that 5-year period. We can somewhat help people potentially by, getting them into an IRA and using our strategies in order to protect their assets from going down.
Strategies, yes.
Well, yeah, we try to look at losing less makes you more. That's a real true statement. And we try to protect the assets from, taking those 20 to 30% losses. And there's ways to do that. I don't talk about that on the radio. That's why they probably should call us. But there's also issues when you start to take income because of the sequencing of rates of return on distribution. And the first 5 years of distribution is the danger zone. We call it the danger zone very specifically because if you have a major loss in the first 5 years of retirement and you're taking income, there's a really good chance that you're not going to come back from that. So you better be very, very, very careful. When you take a 30% loss in retirement, you don't have the time to come back because you're taking withdrawals from that. And let's just say that you're
30%.
Let's say you're 73 and you are required to take withdrawals, whether you like it or not. You can't stop taking withdrawals from there. So you got to be super, super careful.
Premier Southwest Planning Group, LLC is a registered investment advisor. The content of this advertisement is intended for informational purposes only and is not intended to be investment advice. The views expressed in this program are subject to change based on market and other conditions.